I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.
Right, hello, difference makers. Here we are, Trevor and I, back again, talking about Milliondollarize, talking about taking action, talking about doing things. And just to pick up on our last session, if you watched it, that's great. If you haven't, well, we'd love you to watch it and give us your thoughts about it. But talking about how Trevor and I met over 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago now, and the journey that we've been on in that time period, and the ideas and concepts that we've worked on, the businesses that we've developed. So, you know, it's been an interesting ride, and you know, taking action is one of the key things that we speak about. And Trevor, I'm trying to remember. I think one of the first projects that we developed was something called Trade Makers, if I remember correctly. Do you recall that one?
Yep. That's just looking to see if we could introduce the concept of barter exchange here in South Africa amongst all of our business network. And I think out of that, somehow we had an exchange, and I remember building up a whole profile of about 100 different businesses, of which we had equity in. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Tons and tons of people. And therein lie pros and cons, because I can remember people were so excited about working with us, and what we then identified at that time is that they felt that because we were involved with them, that we should be doing the work that they should be doing in driving their own companies. So we had to educate them very quickly on what that was, and that's when I started, I think, converting all of the experience into this publication called Confessions of a Serial Entrepreneur, because we didn't have time to actually sit with all of these people and say, hey, this is what you've got to be doing. So we actually gave them a full-on life and business experience manual to actually work with, which still holds water today. As I look at it with, you know, as you were talking about new ideas, you know, some of the things, and I want you to jump into it, from that Trade Makers, I think I can recall us, we wanted to get into things like real estate, working with people in franchising and developing programs, because we had bigger ideals, but there were people then that had smaller ideals, so we weren't interested in taking that any further. Don't work with people that have just they don't want to grow. Okay, be big, bold. I love that sort of concept of Peter Diamandis. And then we had a whole group of people, I think, out of those 100 that came along to a program of it. I'm sure you'll remember that, because it became WISDOMS, and WISDOMS became this huge concept. So you go for it.
Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. Yeah, I think that's exactly as you speak about the evolution of what actually happened. You know, once we started working together on different projects, and I just want to come back to that point very quickly, because, you know, Trevor and I met. I won't say it was random chance, because there was the fax invite that I mentioned in one of our earlier sessions, and I went along. I took action. I went along to one of his business networking meetings and got to know him, started to get involved. So I took some action. You know, and really sort of said, okay, I have a specific skill set. You know, it's a different skill set to the one that you've got, Trevor. Can we bring these two skill sets together and really start to make something that works, you know, as a team? And that process was started by me taking that action, by Trevor having, you know, taken action already and created that environment where I could do it. And that's really what we're trying to do here for other people, is create an environment where you can come along and say, look, I've got this specific skill set. You know, you guys seem to have done some stuff and have some experience and some knowledge and some ideas. Can we combine these things together? And that's where it started. And as we mentioned at the start of the session, you know, one of those first projects was this Trade Makers project that we came along with. And out of that, as Trevor mentioned, you know, we put together a group of people who came along to learn about what we'd done and how we'd done it, as we were going through one of those sessions, I think that was one of the first Milliondollarized sessions, if I recall correctly, Trevor, we sort of said to the guys, well, it just takes 21 days to launch a business, to create a business from nothing. So we put a challenge on the table to everybody there, and we said, right, the next 21 days over this process, let's all take a business idea, take a concept, and turn it into a business. And you can't throw down a challenge like that to a group of people without actually taking up the challenge yourselves. And so that's exactly what we did. We took up that challenge. We took the concept. We developed the WISDOMS idea out of those sessions, and that's where it all started for WISDOMS. That is back in those days. Yeah.
Ivan, can you remember the looks on their faces when we actually turned around to them and said it only takes 21 days to develop a million-dollarizing idea? The looks on their faces?
Yeah, no, they didn't grasp it at that point in time, but that was part of the process, and I think that was what was key to how we actually worked. That was to take people out of their comfort zones, out of their current paradigms, out of their belief systems that said you couldn't do it, and to say, well, you can, and we'll show you how to do it. And that's exactly what we did. So, and that's what we've continued to do, I think, pretty much ever since. So, yeah.
No one can teach you that which they have not done. And I think in the next quick session, we should just quickly touch on how we actually ate our own pudding and restricted ourselves to our own information to actually create this as an example of what people could do in 21 days. And then you've got to take them into what we were doing in boardrooms as a result of that. Okay.
Absolutely. Great lead on for that. So if you've enjoyed this thus far, we certainly hope you have. Give us your thoughts, give us your comments, down below, and join us on one of these sessions, and, join us in the bigger picture of difference makers in every city around the world. We'd love to help you. And if you can help us, that would be fantastic as well. We love a win-win situation. We want to million-dollarize difference makers everywhere. So if you'd love to be one of those people, come and join us, and don't hang around. Take some action. Get involved. Do it now. So we'll chat to you soon. Cheers now.
I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.